Hello, this is Greg from SharePoint Maven. And in this video, I would like to demonstrate to you the three available options we have when it comes to creating a wiki in SharePoint. So let me first define what I mean by wiki. By wiki, because it means different things to different users, different organizations. By wiki, I mean some sort of knowledge base. Maybe it's frequently asked questions kind of list. Maybe it's a little bit more formal knowledge base with instructions and text and images. In any case, we need to capture some knowledge within SharePoint. Now, there are three distinct ways of doing so, and what I would like to do in this tutorial is show you the three available options, and we'll even set them up together. I'll show you how easy it is to achieve it in SharePoint. In my opinion, of course, I think SharePoint is a perfect fit for some sort of knowledge base or wiki. The first option to build a wiki in SharePoint would be through the custom list functionality. Essentially, we're going to rely on the lists application. We're going to create a list and think of it as almost like something you would maintain in Excel, right? A table with rows and columns, and each row would essentially represent a question and an answer. All right, the columns would be the question, the answer, and the beauty about this approach is that it's relatively simple to implement. And you can also categorize those various questions through various metadata tags. So let's build one together, and I think you will be amazed by the result. So here I have this human resources employee facing site. This is a communication site, of course. We are going to create a new list. So we're creating a new list, just like that. And well, we can choose, different templates, I guess. You can even maybe import, if you have a list of questions and answers in Excel, you can do so. But in our case, let's build everything from scratch. So we're going to create blank list. And let's just call it FAQ, frequently asked questions, wiki, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to click create. And essentially the idea here, obviously it's a blank list at this point. The idea here is that we have essentially, a column for, questions. We have a column for answers, and we can also create additional columns to categorize our wiki. So for now, the list, of course, contains just one title column. We will actually reuse it. We will reuse it for the question. And then we will, create additional columns for the answer and other, other metadata, maybe category and so on. So let's go ahead, first of all, and rename this column. All right, this we are going to use this. This will be the question. This will be the question that the users will type in, or HR, whoever will manage this list. All right, just like that. So one column is ready. Essentially, we just reuse the default column. We're going to create another column that will be the answer. And, we can either choose the single line of text or multiple, but because, obviously sometimes the text could be, the answer could be pretty extensive, let's go for multiple lines of text, just like that. And that will be the answer. All right, just like that. And let's see, we can actually leave it as is if you want, within the answer maybe to play with fonts and maybe make some text bold and stuff like that. We can actually do so. This will allow you to add some color to your text and, you format the text and all that. So you can do that. You know what? Let's not worry about it. But essentially, this is something you can do. This is something you can do. We can also make the column required just so that when we add a question, we also provide the answer. So I guess let's do that and click Save. So here we go. Two necessary columns already exist. Now, because we're utilizing the list functionality, this is where the metadata is a great fit, right? We're not restricted to just question and answer. We can also create other metadata. For example, category, right? Maybe it's a question related to onboarding, or maybe it's a question related to benefits and so on. So let's do that. We are going to add, this is obviously a category, so we're going to choose choice column, and we'll do something like this, all right? Category. And we don't need to have any formatting the colors, but I guess we'll accept the default. So let's just create a few categories so we can organize. And I will actually show you the benefit of this once we fill it out. And let's just say, I don't know, medical, something like this. All right. Whatever the categories are within your organization, you can add additional ones if necessary, but that's good enough for now. Let's not worry. I mean, we'll leave it as optional. All right. I don't think this is mandatory. So we'll click save. Let's play with it a little bit more. You know what? Another column I'm going to add would be the person column. And essentially what I want to do here is, let's say there are several people in HR. So if people have additional questions, they can contact, specific individuals, right? So we'll just create this column contact, and it's going to be a person type of column, right? And let's also show the profile picture. And again, we'll click save. And let's do one more. Add column. You know what? Let's say for each, right? Because this is just a brief, question and quick answer kind of thing. Maybe there is additional information that users can check out, and we'll add a hyperlink column. This way, HR can maybe create a link to additional resource. Maybe it's a document, handbook, some policy page where users can read additional information about a particular particular subject. So we'll do that, and we'll call it additional information, just like that. All right, and that's a hyperlink. And again, click save. All right, now that we created our frequently asked questions list, let's fill it out a little bit. So I'm going to click new. I'm going to essentially fill it out. So the first question, let's just say, when is the benefits enrollment deadline? All right. So that's the question, and it is, let's just say, here's the answer. All right, category is obviously benefits. In terms of contact, let's add Mary. So if users have additional questions, they can contact Mary. And this is the URL. It could be pretty much, I'm not going to fill it out. Let's not worry about it. But this is where you will fill out essentially the URL for additional information. Maybe, like I said, it's a page to a document, or handbook, or some page and so on. So I'm going to click save. So here we go. We filled one row. Let's do another one. What is our vacation policy? All right, just like that. And then for answer, we'll just say, please check out HR page. All right, something like that. For category, let's just say it's onboarding, and you know what? We want everyone to contact Greg if they have any additional questions, and once again, additional information over here. So that's pretty much the idea behind this FAQ. Now, let me show you a few additional tricks related to this list. So there is a reason why we essentially created all this additional metadata, because we can do a few things. So first of all, obviously, right, your FAQ will probably have maybe, I don't know, 50, maybe even 100 entries, right? And you want to easily allow users to easily sort and filter and group things. So let's take care of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pin those two columns to this filters pane. Let me show you what will happen when we do that. So I'm going to choose pin this to the filters pane. And I'm also going to choose this column as well, pin to the filters pane. Let me refresh and let me show you what we just did. Now, when users click on the filters pane, they will get to to see those filters. They can easily, again, pretend we have 100 rows in here. I quickly want to see just this ones, all right, just this ones, or the ones where I need to contact Mary. So essentially, users can easily filter and find the appropriate, categories. Let's do something else. What we can do is the following. We can actually create a view where we group by category. So I'm going to click on this drop down and I'm going to say group by category, just like that. And you can see, obviously, if we have 10 questions related to benefits and maybe 5 questions related to onboarding, they will all appear here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to save this view, and so it is available, for users to choose, just like that. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to make it a default view. What does it mean? It means that when users navigate to this list, this is the view they're going to see. They're not going to see like a table, rows and columns, right? Flat list view. They're going to see this view. So it's going to be nicely organized for them. So let's do that. Set current view as a default. And just to show you what we just did, so I'm back on my home page, but if users click on FAQ, they will now see this default view essentially, right? It defaults to this particular view, so it's nicely organized. So that's pretty much it in terms of this first option, the ability, to create a list. Now, so in addition, what I really like about this option, first of all, it's super simple to implement, as you just saw. The users have the ability to filter by any metadata they want. And it's all searchable. Don't forget, we can also search this list. So whatever you type in here will pick up on any of the keywords we have within this list. So it will pick up on metadata. It will also pick up on the text of the question or the answer. So let me prove it to you. I'm going to type in the word vacation, right? We have it as part of the, our question. If users type in that keyword, look at this, it actually picks it up. So it's all searchable. You can filter, group, sort, whatever you want, and then you can also search by keyword. So extremely, extremely powerful. So in my opinion, this list option is great when you have some quick questions and quick answers, not too much information, not too much text. This is super easy, super simple to implement. If you do have lots of content to share, maybe your answer is, I don't know, paragraphs and paragraphs of text, then this would not be the best option because you're kind of limited in terms of the information you can put in those fields in here and display. In those cases, I recommend the other, two features that I'm about to show you in this video. So the second way of building a SharePoint wiki would be to utilize a functionality called collapsible sections. Collapsible sections on a page, that is. Let me explain to you what I'm talking about. So with the first option, of course, we used the list functionality. So we had a SharePoint site and we pretty much created a list and populated it with information. For the second option, we are going to create a page. And on that page, we are going to have different sections that will correspond to questions and answers. Let me show you how this works. So I'm going to create a new page, not a list, page this time. And let's start with a blank one. And once again, I'm going to call it FAQ. Let's not worry about the images or anything like that. So here we go. And let's just delete this default section over here. So here's how this works. The idea is that in SharePoint, on a SharePoint page, you can add a section. And when you add a section, you can actually make it collapsible. So that's the key. That's the key for us to create in this wiki. So let me once again show you how this works. The idea is that remember with the list, each question had its own row within the table, right? Within a list. The idea here is that each question will have its own section within a page. So once again, let's proceed and you will see how this works. It's actually pretty cool. So we're going to add a section with one column. And the first thing you need to do is click on this edit section option over here. So obviously, right, this is where we can add our web parts and stuff, but that's not what we're going to do now. On the right side, make this section collapsible. So you kind of need to do that. And what actually happens, you see when I toggle the switch on and off, it gets this extra kind of field section name. So section name will be our question. And then whatever we add below would be our answer. So let's do that. All right. So I'm going to once again utilize the same when is the benefits enrollment deadline. All right, just like that. All right. So that's the question. That's the section title. And below, this is where you add your answer. Now, for this one, I'm going to just add some text, all right? So it will be essentially an answer through a text, some sort of message through text. So we'll just say May 31st, just like that. So again, a question, one section, a question, and an answer. So let's add another one. Let's add another question. For that, once again, it's just another section you have to add. All right, and again, the first thing we need to do is make it collapsible. And what we're going to do here is we're going to say, you know what, for this question, how do I submit vacation request? All right, just like that. So that's the question. And once again, we can provide the answer, but actually, let me show you something cool here. We can pretty much embed any web part, right? Don't forget, this is just a regular page, a regular, section that we have. We can pretty much, embed any widget, any web part. So if you have a video to embed or, an image, anything you want, In my case, I want to embed a Microsoft form essentially, which is the vacation request. So let's do that. I'm going to navigate to my forms application. And I already have essentially the vacation request form. You see, this is what users need to fill out when they need to request vacation. And I'm going to copy that link. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go back in here and instead of providing an answer by typing some text, I'm actually going to embed a Microsoft form. So it's going to be a pretty slick experience for my users. They see the question and then they will see the form right inside of the answer pretty much. And I already have a form, so I'm going to just paste the URL and let's see what will happen. So I'm going to click OK. And look at this. You see, essentially the users can pretty much right now, they don't even need to go to any other page. They can just submit their vacation request right from here. So that's pretty cool. Now, obviously, this is the idea, right? If you have another, question, you just add another section. But I think this is good enough. So let's publish it and let's see the result. Let's see what we just did. So essentially, this is the idea behind this collapsible sections approach. Instead of the a row within a list, right? It's essentially a section within a page. So each question and answer combination gets its own section. And here's the experience. You see, how do I submit a vacation request? Well, here we go. You just pretty much fill it out and click submit right from within the page. All right, so pretty neat experience. Let me show you a few other things that we can do with those collapsible sections. So we can actually tweak the behavior. By default, if I'm not mistaken, it makes this section expanded, right? But obviously, let's say you have 10, 20, questions, right? You probably want this accordion style to be compressed. So we're going to do just like that, collapsed by default. And I'm going to do the same here on this other one as well. It's going to be collapsed. Another thing you can do, and this is just from the design standpoint, right? You can actually two different colors. For example, you know what, this one will look like this. This section will make it look like this, so different colors, all right? Another thing we can do here, I guess we can change the alignment of this drop down. By default, it's left. You can make it on the right. I usually never worry about it. I think it looks just fine. Another thing you can do, and again, I think this is great if you have way too many, questions on the same page, you can add a divider. So let me actually show you how to do that. Right here, this is the toggle switch, and it just adds this additional line between the, the questions. So once you're done with the changes, don't forget to republish. And essentially, this is the end result of how it will look like. Again, pretty, in my opinion, pretty slick experience. Another thing you can do, it's not really obvious, but if you hover over each and every section, title, right, you get this little link thing. And this is actually a permanent link. This is the URL to this specific question. Let me tell you why this is going to be super useful. Let's again pretend I have like 50 or 100 questions in here, so it's going to be a long list and you need to scroll down quite a bit. What you can do is you can hover over that particular question. You get this little icon, right click, and you copy that link address. And then what will end up happening, you can actually create a link from anywhere to that particular address. So let me actually do that right now. I'm going to maybe add a link here, and I'm going to paste, and you will see how this works. You see it's a direct link to this page, to this particular section, to this particular question in our case, all right? And yeah, let's call it benefits, all right, just like that. All right, and you can of course change the icon. Let's not worry about it. All right, again, I'm going to click republish. So now it's republished. So let's say the user sees this icon and they click on it. Let's see what will happen. So it brings them to that page. Now, you didn't actually quite see the effect of it because I only have two questions. And there is really nothing else in here. But if I had way too many questions, it would actually scroll down and bring us to the right section, to the right place within the page. So pretty, once again, pretty cool experience regarding that. With this second option, so far we covered the list option and this collapsible sections option. Obviously, this is a better option if you have a little bit more information, a little bit more maybe text to share. Right, with the list, it was kind of limited real estate within the table, but here, obviously, you can do so much more. And in my opinion, it's just a little bit more visually appealing. The only thing we're not getting with this option is obviously that ability to group and sort and filter, right? There is no additional metadata here, but it's just a very different way of doing, creating a wiki, creating an FAQ list. So definitely feel free to consider this option as well. The third and final option I want to show you when it comes to creating SharePoint Wiki would be to utilize the concept of SharePoint pages. Now, I just showed you a scenario where we created a single page and then essentially used different sections within the page for questions and answers. But at the end of the day, all the information was still on the same page. The idea behind this third approach is that we have pretty much a page for each and every question answer combination. And the idea behind this third approach is that you don't just create a list, you don't just create a single page, you create many pages. So here's what it looks like. I actually have a dedicated site for the wiki, for the knowledge base, right here. And the idea behind this is that there is a page for each and every question answer combination. So for example, again, people ask how to submit vacation request. You are getting a whole separate page for the response, for the question and response. This is obviously the most kind of flexible option. Why? Because you're not limited to the real estate you have on the single page and or within a list. You pretty much, can, because you're getting a dedicated page here, you're pretty much, getting all this additional real estate. You can add images, videos, any other web parts for the, for the response. Now, I actually recorded a totally separate video step by step on how to build this knowledge base. So I'm not going to repeat this, the same instructions in this video. Feel free to check out that other video on my YouTube channel. But just to briefly show you the idea behind it. So again, we have a dedicated site for all the, for the knowledge base. And let's say I need to, post some sort of article in here, right? A knowledge base article. So you would click new page. The idea here is that something that I actually built already, I have a dedicated template for users, to fill out. And here we go. You see it's a template. So essentially users, maybe this would be the question and this would be the answer. And obviously, right, we have the whole dedicated page for for the knowledge base article. And because it's a page, once again, we can add all this additional widgets to it. And once it's all said and done, all right, essentially you're getting a site with all these different pages, which are pretty much different articles within the knowledge base, and everything is searchable. Everything is searchable. All the pages, just to show you, all the pages that you create end up in the site pages library. So remember, it's not just a single page anymore with with different sections. You are getting a separate page for each and every article. Obviously this option is the most scalable one. Why? Because you have pretty much a dedicated site for the whole knowledge base. You can add so much content to each and every page, and everything is searchable. Once again, if users type in, vacation or something, right? They can easily find that particular article just like that. Everything is searchable. So this almost resembles Wikipedia style experience, right? Where you have different pages with text, links, all the pages linked up. That would be the idea behind this third option. As I mentioned already, what I will do in the description of this video, I will include the link to that other video where I explain how to build this third option, the dedicated knowledge base through pages. But these were the three options I wanted to demo to you today. Again, depending on your scenario, depending on the, who will maintain all this, depending on the amount of information you want to share, you might want to choose a list, you might want to choose a single page with collapsible sections, or finally, you might choose something like you see right now on the screen, a dedicated site for the knowledge base where each article gets its own page. So the most, this is actually my favorite option, the most scalable option. But for now, thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully you learned something new. As always, happy to see you again on my blog, SharePointMaven.com, as well as my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of the day. Goodbye.